Your Gundog has a natural instinct to want to hunt. And most pet Gundog owners ignore it completely or allow for the dog to go through it on their own terms. In this video, I'm going to be going through how you can introduce hunting to your dog in a way that is structured, handler-led, and something you can even start in your garden from today with just a handful of kibble. This is how you are going to be incorporating hunting behavior. You and your dog working together as a team to fulfill a behavior. This is going to apply to all Gundog breeds. Literally every single Gundog breed can achieve this exercise. And this is part one, and we're going to be starting with the hunt whistle. Part two is going to be the introduction of the turn whistle and also incorporating quartering. And doing this matters because Gundogs are bred to hunt. This is honestly one of the most common things people come to me with their dogs, because when they have recall issues, chances are it's because that dog is going self-employed. What are they doing when going self-employed? They're hunting, their nose is down, they're sniffing away, they're following a scent, whatever that might be. It's because your dog has learned, hey, do you know what? I don't actually need these guys. I can fulfill this behavior on my own. So that's exactly what they are going to do. And the great thing about hunting is it is one of the most natural and fulfilling things you can provide for your dog. There's a lot of pet Gundog owners out there that think hunting exercises is for their working counterparts, when in reality, it's actually something that you can achieve very, very simply without needing to go out and buy a shotgun or needing to go onto a driven shoot or anything of the sorts. You can literally achieve everything that I'm about to show you in this video right from your back garden. And the great thing about hunting with you as a team is it keeps your dog engaged. It keeps your dog wanting to work with you as the handler. You become a team rather than your dog be going self-employed and doing it on their own accord. So literally all you are going to need is a whistle and some kibble. Now, if your dog isn't kibble fed, do not worry, this is absolutely fine. You can either use, say, JR meat pate, which I would highly recommend that you substitute that from your dog's daily food allowance so you're not overfeeding them, or some other easier options such as like some chicken. Boiled chicken would work absolutely fine for this. You literally can use whatever you want, but what is really, really crucial is that you just substitute that from their food so you're not overfeeding them, because we don't want tubby dogs. A real crucial thing about the food that you're going to be using is I would highly recommend that you actually crumple it up into smaller pieces, because we really want to get our dogs working. The kibble that I'm using is actually quite small in itself anyway. It's really, really tiny little pieces, but every now and again I often do kind of rub these together in my hands and crumple them up a little bit more just to make it that little bit more challenging for my dog. Now, we're talking environment. We're gonna wanna choose an environment where you've got grass that is long enough so it's not super, super easy for the dog to find the kibble, but also not too long that it's actually too challenging, to which your dog just checks out. Ideally, this level of probably grass, I would say, is perfect. So like this mound that I'm standing in front of right now, that's actually like perfect conditions for doing a hunting exercise with your dog. Now, obviously, safety precautions, if you are doing this out in public or you're doing this in a local park or anything like that, check over the environment that your dog's in. You know what people are like these days. People leave everything from bottles to baguettes to whatever else is lying around. So you want to make sure that the environment is safe. So just do a little bit of a recce before you jump in and start your session. For our first step, we are going to be conditioning the hunt whistle. We're going to be teaching our dog what this means. Now, I already have a hunt whistle for my spaniel, but for you guys at home, here's just a couple of examples that you can use. So the example that I use, now, if he does break and start hunting, it's because he understands his whistle, but he is supposed to be in a behavior right now. So the hunt whistle that I use is this one. That's what I use for my hunt whistle. He's looking at me with his teeth out like, duh? You want to hunt? That's the hunt whistle that I use. It can be a little bit difficult for that one, for you to perform that one. It is like, essentially like you're rolling your tongue, so you're rrr, rrr, that sort of movement. Rrr, rrr. See what I mean? But a much easier one is we're going to do a little pip, boop, and after that we're going to go doo. So it's going to be a just like that. Have a practice. It doesn't have to be perfect. You literally could use whatever you want for your hunt whistle. Now, to teach the dog what this means, what we are going to do is we're going to have Sid just in a free state, all right? So he's just going to be in a free state in this environment, mooching around. Naturally, what a lot of your dogs are going to do is they're going to start naturally hunting because they know how to do this. This is genetics, guys. So it's very in tune into your dog to want to do this behavior. All we're doing is just lassoing it and putting a bit of control in there. So your dog's going to start hunting. All you need to do is ideally, when your dog's back is turned, place down some kibble. Once the kibble is out on the floor, your dog is then going to start hunting and searching for it. You then need to blow your whistle. So just over the top, as your dog is hunting, ideally place the food directly over your feet. So if we were to talk about value, we want the dog to understand that the value is in proximity to where I am. So if we think that back to when we're working on things like engagement and recall, your dog is naturally going to become more driven and motivated to want to be with you because you're teaching them that value is right here where you are. So they're not going to be a million miles away or straying too far ahead because they know, well, if I want value, I have to stick with my owner. So you might be asking, well, what's the reasoning behind me needing to have my dog's back turned whilst I place the kibble? And that's a very valid question. The reason for that is because if your dog catches you placing down the kibble, as in they watch you put your hand in your pocket and place the kibble down, naturally what they're going to do is they're going to look to you all the time for that form of reinforcement. And this isn't natural hunting, guys. That's your dog just basically waiting for you to start a scatter feeding session because they know you've got the food, they want it. So instead, if we can place it whilst our dogs' backs are turned, we're then able to teach them that, well, when you hear this whistle, there is value. There's something here on the floor for you. And making sure that we get that dog's nose down is the most valuable and important part of this exercise. So that's pretty much it, guys. We're now going to jump on into it. So a little top tip for you. This is something that I like to do when I'm introducing a dog to this exercise. If they do get a little bit stuck and kind of just watch you a little bit, it's quite simply just collect a little bit of grass like this. Doesn't have to be a lot. Place it out in front like that. So the dog is now probably going to just jump straight over and go over to there. Okay, and then when his back is turned, I'm going to ping out a couple of pieces of kibble, blow my whistle, and then as soon as his head is down and his head is continuously sniffing that area, your job is to just conveyor belt, pop, pop, pop in some bits of kibble, all right? And make sure that you are layering in your whistle over the top of this. So watch how I do it and then copy it. So we're going to release the dog, break. He's going to start sniffing, back's turned. So continuously blowing that whistle over the top. So to explain to you guys what's going on right now, Sid is basically locked in, right? So his sensors are front facing directly to his nose. So I could probably wave a sirloin steak in his face right now like this, but because he's just heavily locked in and searching the ground for the value, he's not bothered, yeah? He's locked in on his exercise, hunting away and searching. So all we need to do is condition our whistle over the top of this exercise. So as he's hunting like this, chucking in some food, you'll know, obviously, through the length of the grass when your dog is getting close to finishing. So make sure that when you can see that, you just ping in a little bit more food. It's a little bit of a sleight of hand game, but you'll get it through repetition. Don't worry if your dog does see you and watch you place the food down. It's not the end of the world. Right? It's carrying something. So I'm going to leave it now and just let him eat away at what's left. I'm not going to blow my whistle anymore because he's found it. He's found the value. We've successfully hunted and got him to seek out what he's searching for. So I'm actually going to go for a little bit of a... I'll stop there. Perfect. So what you're going to want to do is probably repeat that good maybe 3 or 4 times before your dog actually starts to associate the whistle with hunting. Now, something to note down here is I'll actually put the camera towards the old boy. Is if you can hear that. He stopped now because he's expecting me to give him something, but he's panting away. Yeah, that was actually quite a lot for him. And this is a dog that, you know, he's been hunting, he's done exercise, he's done X, Y, and Z. He's a very happy and fulfilled dog, and an exercise as simple as that really gets his blood pumping, really gets his mind working, because it is what he was genetically bred to do. Yeah, it's literally within his genes to want to do this. That's why he's so happy and fulfilled when doing it. I'm literally giving him what he was bred to do. So now what we're going to do is going to work on the second phase, and that is just simply testing the association. So Sid obviously already understands the whistle. He knows what this means. So as soon as I blow it, he's going to start hunting, right? So all you're going to do, very simply, you're going to blow your whistle. Your dog, if they understand the association, is going to start hunting. They're going to start searching. I would recommend at this stage, you do just trinkle in a little bit of some food rewards whilst they are doing that, just to make sure that the association is nice and solid. Obviously, if your dog just stays there looking at you like they've gone out and it's just completely over their head, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. It just means you have to do more work on building more of an association with your dog. On this phase as well, you can, like, intermittently incorporate your whistle into this exercise, as in blowing it every now and again, just to kind of further strengthen and solidify your dog's association with the whistle. But as we start to progress, as your dog starts to get more understanding of what's going on, you're going to become less reliant on this, because your dog is going to naturally be working with you. So what we're going to do is I'm going to blow my hunt whistle, send it off hunting, show you what that looks like. I'm even going to ping a little bit of some food in there just to keep him nice and peppery, but this is just for demonstration purposes. So move my whistle, I'm going to send him off. He's going to start off hunting. I can blow my whistle to insinuate that that's what I'm looking for. A couple of pieces of food down. And I'm going to blow a stop there just to finish him up. So that is what a successful session of teaching the hunt whistle would look like. So the great thing about teaching this to your dog is I always, with all my Gundog exercises, teach it with food to start off with, but the beauty of it is you can level your dog up through difficulty, terrain, and various other bits and bobs. So obviously I've started out with food today. You could level this up to a rabbit ball. You know, you'll have seen in various videos before in the past, they're like my saving grace when it comes to fulfilling a dog. So if we can teach our dog to actually search for it and hunt for it, just how we can when it comes to utilizing food here, that is literally the perfect recipe for fulfilling your dog. And the great thing is, guys, you don't even need to go on to step 2 if you don't want to. You literally could just stay on this step, and that would be more than enough for you and your dog. You can also use this for a reward after your training sessions, because more often than not what I find is it's a great exercise for just regulating your dog's nervous system, getting them to hyper focus on a task and switching off from the world around them. So if you've got, say, like a reactive dog, for example, this is going to be brilliant for them to just give them a little bit more of a focal point, give them something to focus on that's not everything else in the environment. So in part 2, we're going to be adding in what we call the turn whistle, and this is where it's going to start to look a little bit flashy and look like what you would probably most likely see on all the flashy Instagram accounts and things like that, on actually introducing a turn whistle, which would then obviously promote quartering. So if you want to see that, make sure that you subscribe and watch out for part 2.